I'm gonna be showing you guys how to paint the inside of your Panamera lights, 970. I ordered these on eBay for 70 bucks. 2 brand new lens covers. These come with a black ring, which is a lot nicer than this color. Obviously, everybody's different. My car is all black, so I'm going with all black. If you've never pulled your headlights out before, you're gonna need a 9mm Allen. This one's already out, but for reference, you can see right in there, Allen goes in, and when you turn this back, it's gonna pull your headlight in and lock it. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna come in here, you're gonna put your Allen in, you're gonna turn it forward as you pull the headlight, and it should unlock. And then you're just gonna pull this and unplug. So you can see mine's broke. That's why I'm gonna be replacing it. I'm gonna paint the inside while I'm at it. I've already started. You can see where my prime marks are a little bit. This is really softer plastic. They use like a beetle seal in these, not like a headlight sealant. So I just got a heat gun, slowly doing sections, probably like 10 inches, 10 inches at a time. Get them up and pry them back a little bit just to get the seal to come off of the lens. And then I'm gonna go around and do the whole thing. You can see in there, it's kind of separated. I'm gonna just go around. It might be a little bit harder if you have the full lens. Mine's broke, but I mean, you can see here, it overlaps. So I'm going in at an angle like this and just kind of getting the screwdriver in there and twisting it a tad bit at a time as I work all the way down, and it's pulling it apart. And then when I get closer, I'll show you how I pull it apart. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, but see, I shove my screwdriver in there and just turn it just a tad bit and just keep working your way down. You can see that separating. You're gonna do this to the whole headlight, and then it should be able to pull out. Once I get to that point, I will show you again. So once you get that edge started, you're gonna be able to just pull. This one's coming off pretty easy. It might be a little bit harder than this, but you'll see like that corner is a little stuck. You're just gonna push down, kind of pry out. You're gonna work your way around the whole light. If you get any stuck areas, I mean, just go back with the screwdriver. And I have noticed, and sometimes you do got to go back and heat it. The heat softens up the biddle sealer or whatever they use, whatever it's called. Not too much heat, just enough heat, and I'm going at an angle toward the glue to be able to see it in there. And make sure you don't have like no staples. I got my staples out. Make sure you don't have like no staples left, because those will hold it up. Headlights are still expensive, so just be mindful, be careful. It's pretty, let's see, it's hard to show you, but it's starting to come out a little bit. There we go. Once you get far enough out, I mean, it'll really pull out. There we go. And here it just slides out. It sits on a little track in there, so. It's the old lens. You clearly see why I'm replacing it, but while I'm going this far, my work, I might as well paint the inside. I mean, you can paint match yours. Not everybody's gonna want to do black, because your car might not be black, might be white. Go ahead and paint this white. Okay, once you get that out, this inner lens, there's one T25, I believe, one screw at the bottom. And once you pull that out, this lens should come out. Careful with your lens, don't let it break, because I don't know China sells a replacement of that yet. Guess I'll find out if China sells a replacement of that yet. Oh, golden. So I'm gonna be painting this black, and I'm gonna also be painting the projector housing black. The housing outside comes out with some screws. To be honest, I usually just tape these off because I don't like messing with all of this. If you want to go for it, you can, but I have the cornering light, I have all the extra functions that I don't want to touch and I don't want to play with. So I'm probably just going to sand this down and tape it off in everywhere around here and paint those, not mess with it. Another thing you need to do this correctly is you need to go around and try to take out all the old biddle rubber, whatever you want to call it. Or what I have done on some Mercedes, I don't know if they use the same type, I have gone and heated this like melting hot, like the glue, and shoved it back together, and I actually put some sealant on the outside. There's a proper way to do this. That might not be it, but it works for me. Do as you please. But yeah, depending on how hard this fights me to get this glue out, this old glue, it actually is pretty clean and straight. I didn't bring any out on the old lens. Sometimes it melts and comes out on the lens, and that's when you kind of get mess. But yeah, I'm gonna pull this stuff into the garage and put a coat of paint on it, and then I'll get back with you guys. I ended up popping mine off. This has 2 clips. Mine was broken. They're really brittle. I mean, it's not really worth pulling all this stuff off. If you're gonna paint it on the car or in the light. Don't pull it. This luckily has 2 screws in it that hold it, so I'm not too concerned with the clips that broke. This just has a bunch of very brittle plastic prongs, and it just pushes over and sits in these grooves. This is very brittle. One broke on mine. It still will latch on. I usually do not do this. I just tape it and paint it because this stuff is so brittle and it does break, but I'll probably end up just doing a little bit of silicone on this. It still clips on and locks, but I don't want to glue this back together and find out that this is going to fall off the rest of the way in the lens. Have to do this all over again. But yeah, I'm going to paint this, and this. I paint this whole thing in here and here. Basically, all your lighting projection is out of this bulb. And I leave this chrome, obviously, because that's going to be your highlight or your high beam reflectant. So I don't mess with that stuff, but just this stuff will be a game changer with the new lens with the black outer cover. So you guys will see a done version shortly. My world probably be like a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes of reassemble after I paint. Paint usually takes about an hour, so you'll see it in no time though. If you're gonna do it on your own at your house, can just get some 1000 grit sandpaper. Take your time and sand every inch that you're gonna see. I've already sanded, obviously I'm on my first coat. You see how light of a coat I did. This is gonna be, the first 2 coats I'm just gonna mist on basically. I mean, just to get enough coverage to stick. I mean, you want it to get tacky a little bit and stick to all those points. If you just come on here and spray it heavy the first coat, it's gonna, some parts might not stick, it might run. It's not gonna be good. So just take your time. You're already this much time into pulling it apart. Just extra amount of time on paint is gonna save you in the long run, and the result's gonna be way better, obviously. So it's gonna be coat 2. A little bit more coverage, but still lightly misting it on. I mean, you can still see a lot of chrome pulling through on a lot of this. Just make sure you're getting coats everywhere, not missing anything. I usually do about 5 to 10 minutes in between coats on a light mist, just because I'm in Vegas and it is like 103 or 104 today. Garage is probably close to that. So yeah, about 5 to 10 minutes depending on your temperature. Get online and Google it, ask Chat GPT or whatever. It should tell you basic time frame of how long to wait. But yeah, just go ahead and 5 to 10 minutes. I usually do about 4 coats of black. The first 2 really super light mists until you get a decent amount of coverage like this. Let it flash for about 10 minutes. Then I'll go with a medium third wet coat to kind of fill in everything. Then the final coat, I'm gonna go a little bit wetter to make sure everything's uniform and blend. I don't want no tiger stripes or any lines in my paint, so I try to get the whole unit basically wet. Quick note, another thing I didn't notice on my other headlight, I'd already pulled this off in the video, so I think these are just like weather seals to make sure that water doesn't get in. That's why they're on the top and there's a gap on the bottom. You can push these back on, and if you have a plastic welder, you can touch it, or I mean, if you don't have a plastic welder and you're really concerned with this, you can get a screwdriver pretty warm, and you see how it slides back in right there, kind of. You can get a screwdriver pretty hot and touch that and melt that rubber back together. I got a plastic welder, so I just plastic weld, tap it back together, and it stays on. But yeah, this seal, you're just gonna go around the flathead and get underneath it and pull it up, and the whole thing will come off like that in one piece. Just put it back if you got it. If you don't got it, obviously it's not a big deal. I mean, if your headlights are sealed, they're sealed. This is just an extra form of protection. You can see this is a little rubber, sits up and in here and blocks basically water from getting down into that seam right there. So yeah, I usually go back over this with a little bit of silicone or like RTV black, like 1 minute gasket maker, just really light seam on the outside. Because most of these Porsches don't have this that I've dealt with. But I mean, mine has it, I'll put it back. So just wanted to throw that in there. So this is the 4th coat. See, it's got everything black, full coverage. I'm gonna probably let this sit for about 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna hit it with some clear. Don't go off of my numbers. Like I said, check your temperature. It's very hot in Vegas, so about 45 minutes, this should flash. Then I'll hit it with some clear. I'll probably do about 3 coats of clear. Light misting, medium coat, heavy coat. Already got my other one back together. So basically what I do is I add a little bit of gasket maker or sealant to this ring, but far enough back. This is where these clips sit. When you pull them off, some might break, but that's where I put a little bit of sealant. You can see on this one, I already got it back together. Then you're gonna these clips are just gonna not pop in, they're just gonna set there. And then you're gonna put your T25 back in under here, which screws in right to that bar. It's gonna hold it in place, and then I'm just gonna make sure it's all sitting flush. And then we're gonna heat gun this whole edge and get all this bittle sealant kind of warm again. And just gonna get the whole thing a little bit warmed up, and then we're gonna pop the new headlight lens in. So there's the light all done. You can paint that black if you don't care about your high beam, but it does reflect the light, so it's not recommended. But yeah, that's the lens. You need to put your staples back in. I don't have a staple gun. I always use like a number 6, about a 1/2 inch long silk tapper. Not the proper way to do it. Never had an issue though. I just put a little bit of sealant on there all the way around the lens, and I'll let it dry for about an hour before I touch it, and then I'll let it sit for about 24 hours. Yeah, I don't know why it's got such a crazy rainbow looking shade to it, but the lens is clear. Well, I'll show you guys in the car next. There's the finished product. Lens is clear, so I'm still gonna have light visibility. A lot of people smoke their headlights, and to me it just does not look good. It's fairly funny. Plus, I mean, my windshield's tinted, so I don't understand why people tint their headlights. It just kills the output of the light. Makes it hard to see. See on mine, I still have full range of lighting. See, I still have a high beam as well because I didn't paint that inner. Yeah, pretty much it. Thanks for watching.